Hello trader, welcome back to another live session. I hope that the stream is on and everyone can see and hear. Welcome back to this another live session, and this is exclusive live for the New York session. Hello, welcome. I hope that the stream is on and you guys can hear me. If you can hear me and see me, can you assist on the live chat a little bit? Say yes. Or you can write just Y. Welcome. Thank you. All right, so we are beginning a really busy trading week, and busy means that there is mob coming, and already there is mob. And welcome, thank you. And in the beginning, you want to start a trade setup as soon as possible, as soon as the market shows up. Now we are exclusively, I'm coming on live in this session in this time. Every single day there's only one session, an extended session. So make sure guys and girls don't miss out this session every day exactly this time. So now in my zone 10:18, so I'm coming on live around 10 to 10 or 10:15, around 5 minutes or 15 minutes interval in the beginning of the hour. So you can save, you can subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell, and also you can save the link for if you want to save somewhere, so that whenever I'm coming on live you can see that. So in this session we will be looking at gold primarily, and also I will be looking at, it all be together in this session, dollar yen, and also if we look at potentially the euro dollar, there is a big bearish pin bar here, and the market may move in a sideway, or you'll see that what's happening throughout the session. Any instrument, hello, welcome, any instrument is trending, we are going to look at for potential entry. So first of all, we see that there is just a 4-hour candle close in this hour on gold, and the market from the daily we can see there was the Friday's price action was very surprising, that you can see there was a big long pin bar has formed here on the daily. Now this long pin bar, thank you, this long pin bar that we can see that has formed on gold, that might be a potentially sign of bearish move in the market. So if you look at here, you can see this is a just looking to see. Okay, so here is if you look at, this is a large pin bar that you can see has gold has formed, and in that large pin bar, this is a large pin bar, And in that large pin bar, if you look at, that's a pretty big move on daily time frame on gold, and that pin bar that you can see on gold has formed, which might create downtrending move on gold for at least for short term here. So before we look at any entry, the first step that you want to see is that there is a lower time frame confirmation, and because the first day of trading week, because this is the first day of trading week, and you want to see that in fact overall direction before the entry. So looking at also the monthly and weekly price action. So because this is a long term, that means that bigger picture, if we look at this market, it is bullish market, and this is the second week. So going to the weekly price action. Now from the weekly, today's market open. Now I'm really interested on specifically on the weekly. All right, so and I think that you guys also in the same page, so let me know, because if you see that there was a gap open, right, and with this gap open, the market from this support has moved initially back to the upside here. And what I think, anything can happen, the market always do very different, but what I think that here gold might drop down back to this support and could bounce off that level, right? So being very specifically, if we look at the weekly here, that we can see the market has created a weekly move back to the upside. So there is a possibility that gold may drop down further to fill the weekly, but as the first day of trading week, see the daily volatility so far, not many, only 237 pip move happened so far since the Asian session. So there is move ahead, of course, can expect. And looking at the Forex factory calendar, let's see the calendar here. The calendar is important. That's where you can see overall what's gonna happen potentially next, as this is today is Monday, right? So tomorrow coming up during the daytime, there is RBI rate statement and RBI press conference, cash rate. These three news gonna market mover for all, right? All the instrument, including gold and also currencies. Followed by, we'll see that during the this 8 p.m, which is in my zone, it will be JPY move. That so therefore tomorrow's primary move that we could see, AUD, USD, dollar yen, GBPJPY, XAUUSD, ADP weekly and employment change, which is showing tentative, and also in the New York session, we will see the job opening, which you also will see tomorrow because it's showing AM in my area. So therefore, and also later this week, we'll see that FOMC. That's a rate card move. Now, we will be discussing in depth while also we are looking at the trade setup, because in this live session, our focus here not only to open a trade, but also learn proper strategy and learning when to enter, when to exit, how to place the stop loss and all of that. So you can share your thought, what's your view on gold today, and also do you only trade for just to trade, or you also focus on becoming a trader over the long term? You can share your thought in the live chat. Now, going to the daily again, here is the weekly support, which is also the daily support, maintain that series of higher lows. So therefore, this is what I'm here looking at for the market to come back. My view on gold is break break ATH this week. ATH, what is that ATH? Can you clarify? So what do you mean by ATH? My view on gold is break at the, what's that ATH? All-time high. Okay, all right, so all-time high. Okay, all right. Sometimes too many things that we need to think to break all-time highs. Okay, anyone on that view that gold is gonna break all-time high? So if we see that gold is breaking all-time high, that means you are saying that gold gonna this week push back above 4381 this week. Because FOMC, all right, and with the FOMC, it's, I wouldn't say that it's not gonna happen, but a little ambitious, because if you look at this from this level to the currently where the market is 1835 pip, that we need to see gold is going to go there for break all-time high. And daily, if we look at even we could see that there might be a break of structure as well in that direction. So it might go for even a sideway here if you look at on gold, and that might, the trend is up, okay, here, and there is an imbalance here in that area. To move to the all-time high, it really need a huge momentum, especially without breaking this low. I think it's less likely. But if gold break the low here, the reason that I'm saying, if you look at the daily, you see that whenever the market prepare for a bigger move, let's look at a little bit of past price action, that you will see what I mean by that. So if you look at let's see here, you see that whenever there is a liquidity sweep, let's say that it has this daily move, if you look at every single day, the market is maintaining this series of higher low where there is a daily doji, right? So this is a very long daily doji, and that longer daily doji, that if you look at, right, so every single day the market was maintaining the series of higher low, except when the market broken back below, closed above, we saw there is another move, and you can see here also the same thing. So these are the smart money area, so where the market, those candles had a higher liquidity in those areas. So if you look at in this move on the daily, there isn't many candles that I can see has broken from the structure. So if the market didn't break from the structure back below, well, it might be difficult for the market to straight going back. Instead, it requires in that direction before it move like that. So if it breaks the structure, then we could see that the momentum gain The market is trending here back to the upside on gold. So that being said, I'm looking at here. So going back to the lower time frame, the previous 4-hour candle was a red bearish candle, and the market now pushing back again. So here we saw the breakout structure. This is the 5 minutes price action. This is where the market tested multiple times. Now at the moment, let's look at a very shorter time period here, okay? Because you want to see, we trade on lower time frame. We have an overall general direction in this market that today the market whenever the market will drop to the daily support, too choppy. Yes, so the market is too choppy, okay? But there is a trend in that, right? So if you look at, even in that choppy, gold is only ranging today, sir. Yes, there is a range, and when the market ranges, but if we trade on very lower time frame, we still can find some moves here, right? So looking at those levels to find the entry. So even the market was ranging, if you look at here, okay? So you can see this is a range market. Even the market is ranging, there is a move here, right? So this is a move, and there is advantage of a ranging market, and the advantage is that when the market range a lot, you see that after the range, the breaks out become stronger. That's the rule of thumb. So if you look at, let's say a market is ranging like that, few candles range, and breakout is a one way. But if you see a market range a lot, so the bigger, another way to say, the bigger the range, the stronger the breakout. So you can see here is a pretty big range, and you see how the breakout happened. The same thing here, there's a big range, the breakdown was pretty big. So that's how we can understand the length of the potential breakout when we see a range. Now it is really tiring to trade on the range market, especially I had a stop loss earlier today, but later we have been able to cover with another trade. So when the market ranges, the best way is to draw the support and resistance, draw the levels on the higher time frame, and then wait for the market to retest those levels. So if you look at the daily, this is the daily market that you can see, and daily support. Okay, so this is daily support, and in the daily support, what do you see? The market with this pin bar, the price dropped to that, and initially it make its move back to the upside. So therefore, in that range market, the best area that you will be looking to enter, so exactly wait for the, this is what we want to see, that waiting for the retest, because that's the level is best level to enter from the daily low. Because even if we see that this support is broken and the market penetrated back below, there will be a potential bounce of that daily support level. So now going to the lower time frame again, that's the support, that's the daily support that you want to see retest. You want to check here, buy level, So buy level after price action confirmation. Now we're gonna see that the market has dropped down here at least to that level, and unless it changes the trend aggressively. And also looking at the daily, the price almost reached the daily high. There wasn't much move today, which is bringing a potential for the next session move. That means that on NY session, the move to happen, right? So this is the support buy level after the price action confirmation, and this is the daily level after price action confirmation. Now, if the market reach the daily high, there is a potential for straight drop again to the daily low. So my plan here on gold is to go long after the market break the current low. That means that after the price retest this current support at 4199, that means 4200 level, which is now nearly to 220 pip away from that level. But in case we see that the market trend is maintaining to the upside, that we will see from the price action, then we can change our plan to enter along the way. So at the moment there won't be enter any sell trade, as it is showing that after this pretty big consolidation it started an uptrend here. Yeah, so waiting for retest. Or we can say, I think that's the best way to explain. Buy level after a retest. This is a 1 minute chart I'm looking at on gold, and what time frame you trade, you can share your thought in the live chat. There's a chat option open for everyone. Thank you. And also if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel for regular trade updates and ideas as well as analysis that I'm posting. Also, you can join the Telegram. You can find link below this video where I do share some of my London as well as NY session trade ideas and also educational content in that community. You guys can join there to have more understanding about trading for the education and also learning purpose. Now, here is the support buy level after a retest. Okay, so it's we see there's a rejection. You want to wait for the full breakdown here. 30 minute. 30 minutes time frame that you use for trading. 30 minutes is a good time frame, and but it's for me, I do not use 30 minutes for entry, though in currency sometime, but in gold, 30 minutes we can, that's completely fine. Some trader uses 1 hour, 4 hour, but for me I use little lower time frame. But if you are using lower time frame, one very important criteria that is, you see that when you trade on lower time frame, right, the best way to trade on lower time frame is to know the sessions. Okay, because whenever you see the sessions begin or session ends, lower time frame trend become very effective. Especially, let's say you saw the market is on the daily support, right? This is the daily candle, and this is the daily support. The price dropped to that daily support after this initial move, and once you see the market drop to the daily support, it reversed back again, right? That's if you see that after dropping to the daily support, there's a 1 minute inverted head and shoulder, and that's pretty cool, isn't it? Especially if you see that 1 minute head and shoulder, and 1 minute head and shoulder or 1 minute inverted head and shoulder on a daily support means that there is a potential reversal. And I have also a separate lessons as well, separate video on the channel, you guys can watch that. So if you see market from this high here, the price dropped to that daily support, created that inverted head and shoulder, and bounce off that, which is a very good price action confirmation for any kind of entry in the market. And by the way, if you are enjoying the live session, you just started the invoice session live, there's there is a potential move ahead, so we'll be entering as soon as we see the price action confirmation with proper risk management. So if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream. And do you have also the lot size calculator when you are opening any position? Do you use lot size calculator, which is very important? Now looking at here, this week, tomorrow, 3 news on AUD. And sure, I saw that early this week, there was a pretty now there was a news that yesterday, I think you can see that now on. I think it's about the rate cut on dollar, and that was saying that rate cut on dollar, and tomorrow the RBS news that was saying, if you look at the calendar, because this is gonna also impact gold as well, right? So cash rate may be holding here, this one, okay, during that thing. So week ahead, Fed to cut, but RBA, SNB, and Bank of Canada to set to hold. Now, if you look at, because we are dealing with basically here dollar and AUD, I wouldn't be much concerned about the, because we don't trade with the SNB, basically Swiss franc and also CAD. So any change in CAD and SNB, so if we see the CAD volatility on CAD, will create volatility on WTI, dollar CAD. CAD is highly tied to the WTI, as you know that, guys. So therefore, if we look at the AUD USD, became choppy. I think this is a potentially a pullback on AUD USD. Okay, so if you look at the weekly, this is the weekly move. It's a very strong bull market now at the moment on AUD USD. So coming down on the 4-hour to this support means there is potential for an upside on AUD USD. If USD moving that back to the upside after retest, then gold may follow along, right? Because also gold follows AUD USD. There is a bounce here on gold that you can see. And now it has created a break of structure here in that market. As the annual session begins, so to see that new session timing. Showing 6:50 a.m. New York, so I think still 1 hour to go for the session to close open. It's 8 a.m. on New York will be opening. So the market here, there is a breakout structure, and with this breakout structure that you can see, the market may create a downward trend here. Do you need a big music or light music? Okay, so here on 1 hour and the 1 minute, it's the daily support. Looking at this daily low, especially if the market coming to this daily low, there is a gap here and it might come to fill that gap. 36 pip to 37 pip gap before touching today's low, and today's low retest, and that's a very good level that you can look at for buy, and even it can be starting off a new uptrend. All right, so patience is needed, guys. This is sometimes becomes trading become sometimes very difficult to wait for the market to come to the level. And that is also one of the reasons why sometimes over trading happens, right? Because when the market doesn't move, it becomes a natural tendency to open a trade which is not there. And that's where sometimes you see that over trading happen. And over trading is one of the main reason why you can't keep the profit in the trading account. You'll see that for those in trading, if you have some experience, let's say 3 months, 6 months experience in trading, then you know that what level might be a high probability trade setup, unless you're a complete beginner, and then the rest depends on the psychology. Having a strategy is very important, because having a strategy, that means you know exactly what level to buy, when to buy. It becomes it comes as a confidence, which is essential for the trader to be able to know that when to buy. Imagine that, this is very important. I really fascinated with that. Imagine that if you know that what level to buy, what level to place the stop loss, and what level to take profit target, and train yourself to keep the trade and keep the risk accordingly, that's what you as a trader need it, isn't it? So it takes the time to practice. The only thing that needs is just time. Because as long as you are on trading, you are in trading and practicing, ultimately you're gonna learn it. Everyone the same way. but it takes time to practice. Be willing to do that. That's all you need, right? How long you trade? Are you a full-time or a part-time trader? Anyone here full-time trader? Or are you full-time or part-time? Asking the question, let's see that. Are you a full-time or a part-time trader? You can share your trading style in the live chat. Part-time, Stephen. So it's after this rejection is breaking back below, that means there is a potential for this market to come back to the daily support. If it comes here to the daily support, drop down with a one single move. One single move means that if it comes down here with a one big candle or with multiple candle without proper pullback, that is also very important to look at, especially how the market moves. Okay, so because that will give you an understanding of if this move will continue or will reverse. That's a very, very important question, right? Because if you look at, let's say the market is coming to an important support, right? Euro dollar. Yeah, I was looking at some currency pair as well. Keep on a watch list. Is it moving, euro dollar? You know, you need to see a market that is moving. That's very important. Euro dollar on the daily support. What about dollar yen? Looks like dollar yen is highly bullish. Euro dollar not trending. I normally try to avoid this kind of market. Euro dollar not trending. Dollar yen is trending. And if euro dollar not trending, that means GBPUSD also not trending. But GBPUSD looks better than euro dollar, creating series of lower high. Euro dollar, I would wait to see what happened. This market might ultimately come down here, potentially, but it's not trending now at the moment. So you see that the lower when you look at the lower time frame, you can see there is a drop like this, massive consolidation. With this consolidation, the market may first break above and then could break below. So that could be the situation on euro dollar. So we need to, if the market goes up like that and then return down, that's after break of this low, that's the good entry. Stop loss above this breakout and then targeting below here to the swing low or even further low. That is what euro dollar potentially may do. Keep here watch list. On the watch list, if euro dollar going up and then coming down, we will be looking at entry. Okay, gold again. After this break of structure, turn back above. We need to see mainly the directional bias. If you are very sure that in one direction, that means the market has created a clean structure, that is where you want to enter. Welcome. We haven't entered any trade yet. This session, we had previous sessions trade, but this session the market still not showing clear entry. But euro dollar has a very funny structure here, double top, drop down, consolidation. Okay, so this is 15 minutes chart on euro dollar. If it breaks that high here and then come back down, it's gonna be a good entry potentially. And this is what we will be doing if euro dollar breaks above and come down. That means up and then return. If it goes up, okay, from here and then coming back down, that's basically potentially a false breakout, and that false breakout can bring that market back below here. So you want to take the false breakout first. Now, identifying false breakout is always helpful, especially if you see that the market, let's say we are waiting here on gold for this support to test, right, from the buyer's perspective. But if the market here on gold drop in a way that creates a false breakdown, that's what you want to see, right? That's why we can take a bigger move in the market. Right, so in the night. Okay, so here if you look at this is a resistance, and especially I trade mostly the false breakout or false breakdown. There's only one really move that stands out from all. Okay, that's the move with large ATR to the key level. So you see that, keep ATR in my chart. Do you use ATR as an indicator? It's a volatility. You can find out volatility based on ATR. Thank you. You see that whenever it's going up, having a reaction back below. So that's I think that's a bearish signal, but it's still when you look at the 5 minutes, here creating quite a few smaller candlestick patterns. So therefore, still I wouldn't say big drop coming, but there is possibility. The volume dropped a little bit. This is the market volume. Welcome. If this structure that you can see, if this one created in an uptrend, I would look to sell here, because what we can see here, that this is a rectangular, right? And with that rectangular formation here, the market now highly likely to see the price will come back here to this support here. Okay, and if the price come back to this support, from the high, if we look at the top levels, okay, you see whenever the market penetrated back above, it got rejected back below. Okay, so the trading, I got one of you, Stephen said part-time. Trading, if you trade full-time, that might be sometime, especially trading only full time, it's very hard. Okay? You need to have other focuses. Even you can trade full time. That means, okay, welcome Valerie. Even trading is such a thing that once you have little bit of education, understanding, you won't feel like you are doing anything. If you can have a better trading psychology, you feel like you are not doing anything, but that can give you way more freedom than anything else that you do. And also it brings confidence, right? As a trader, you have better understanding. It brings really good, better prospect, and it doesn't require to do the full time, but you can enjoy the same benefit, even much more than benefit than trading full time by trading few even minutes. So here gold is slowly breaking that up, and until we see the market, it might move little in a sideways, but our zone here is support at the moment. But if it doesn't come to the support, moving to the resistance, we'll be looking to see how we can enter along the way. It's a very slow move here that you can see. This is a current support on this lower time frame, and that might bring that market back below here. But because there isn't a strong volatility, I'm not looking at here in that area. We want to see, bigger volume in the market before you look at an entry. Welcome to the live session, traders. We are looking at progressing towards the new session begins. New York 7:20 a.m. So euro dollar, if you look at it's getting that support, putting the pressure on the support, but it may drop like that and then could bounce off the level, or it may eventually go up again for another test and then could come back down. Okay, so a little less volatility. What we are looking at here on gold is for support test before we look at any entry. while also you're keeping eye on euro dollar, and we will be also looking at sometime dollar yen. It was also trending. Apart from gold, what currency pair you guys trade? Can you share? Do you trade only gold or you trade currency as well? I ask you as a question. LMS. Does NY session open at 8 a.m. East or 9:30 a.m.? The stock exchange opens 9:30. The NY session opens NY time 8 a.m. So it's only 30 minutes, 36 minutes remaining. And the market is basically waiting for that volume to come up. And you see that there will be highly likely that there will be a rejection here in that market. So good day. Thank you. So this sideways market is basically waiting for sudden move. Yes, there is a stock market, and so it relates with the stock market as well. But I like trading simple. Like, the more specific you are, the better. That's why the more specific you are, the better. You see that anyone who has general knowledge has, like, if you find someone who has very good knowledge on a specific thing, right, special in one specific area, very good at. If you find someone who has very good general knowledge, and general knowledge is very important, of course, but not a specific at something, you see that it's not gonna be very helpful. That's why, for example, if we trade here, we are trading gold and we are trading on lower time frame, we are very specific, and we don't have to worry about price dropping or price going up, as long as we can predict the price, as long as we have the risk management. It's beauty, isn't it? Because otherwise, as always, we need to be worried about either the market will go up or down. Trading forex or trading gold or currency, trading CFD, it's the biggest advantage that I found is this is immune to any kind of economic fluctuation, but it's more often beneficial when the market fluctuates, because though we don't want the market to be volatile or unstable, but which is natural to happen, but if it happens, then it creates more trading than normal. I like trading gold and other currencies, but I choose gold. Okay. There are both pros and cons on trading gold, and also there is a pros and cons on trading currency. But as long as you trade USD pairs, it's much easier as a day trader or a scalper. Anyone here trade currency only, but not trading gold. Okay, sideways movement again. But that's might create a significant move here. Daily support here is important. Still the market is showing trend up. So if you look at here, whenever it is breaking below, it's getting rejection. So the market is still, this is still can continue with uptrend. So the market is still can continue with uptrend here. By the way, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you like this stream, guys. We are waiting for an entry. The market little sideways at the moment, and it is the best thing that you can do always to, you know, avoid entry in the sideways, though it sometimes becomes hard to avoid, especially when the sideways market becomes very long and it feels like it's gonna change, but just it's gonna create a false breakout and you see it's gonna come back to the range. So when especially let me give you one experiential clue that gained from over experience. And experience is the greatest teacher of all is. So when you see that the market is having a range, first question need to ask is, what is after? Like, let's say there is a NY session coming, opening. So in the market range like that, it normally wait for an event to trigger that move again. Can you tell what is the London high price today? So the London high price today is here. We open position during the London session. This is today's London high price. 4216. I've opened position here. Bought from here, gone down, gone up. Also the first one here didn't work out. That's fine. The trading is like that. Okay, better, always best idea is to take the bigger profit target. That's what it is. 4216 is where London high and daily high at 4218.95. This is 4219. And of course, during the London session, if you are on the signal channel, you would be able to see some trade that I share, because during the London session, especially the breakout is very important, right? If you look at the breakout, London breakout and NY close, okay, these two sessions are very liquid. London breakout is, this is what I was talking about here. When you see that the market is on a sideways, then you can ask what is next. That means it's waiting for an event to trigger that move again. So if you see the market is in a sideways like that, if there is a news, then that news potentially breaking out from this structure, from this consolidation, then waiting for that news. So in that case, the best idea is not to trade before that news, or not to enter before that news. If you see that this kind of sideways market before London open, that means it's waiting for breakout before the London session. Similarly on NY session, now this consolidation is basically the market is waiting for the NY open, and you see the market most likely could range at least 15 minutes prior to the NY session, and with the NY session open, the market may breaks from this consolidation, and if that breaks down, come back below here, then we are having a daily support test, and we will be looking at buying from the daily support. That's the plan. You see that after that, with at the end of the NY session, at the end of the London session, also the market does that before the London close. There is always volatility in the market. That's a liquid session. So here the market is again in a one candle range. It's pretty smaller, and from that range, the possibility here, so far this is still bullish. We can see a series of higher lows being created, and it can happen that the market crossing the London high, so the price may eventually could retest the London high before the NY open. Okay, so it's potentially heading back to that level. 4216, the daily high is 4218. So as the market nearing to that level, it's a possibility now that the market could move up to here to the London high, as it's showing that bullish price action. The structure created to be bullish, and as NY session coming, there is a potential for one single move to happen. There's an inverted head and shoulder here. I'm potentially getting ready for an entry because the price action here is bullish so far in this zone. So with the upcoming session, we might be able to find a short-term move here. Short-term means that to the London high, because there is an imbalance. If you look at this, is an imbalance in the market, and getting welcome. Okay, so this is where the market's trying to break that low. Okay, I'll be using a pending order here, guys. A buy stop for this move, potentially back to the upside, and you will be taking here one single move to the daily high if the market goes up to cross this level. All right, so it's a buy stop pending order. If the market goes up to create a new higher high with only 30 pips stop loss, and this move, if the successfully goes up, we'll be able to take that move to nearly to 52 pip. Expecting that the market to test the London high. If the market goes above the London high, we can even partially close the position. Ready for it? Buy stop order placing at 4213.77, stop loss at 4210.50. So I'll be placing at 50 in case just for spread cover, and we'll be taking TP target at 4218.82. So this is a pending order. Please buy stop, and to see the NY move. So buy stop order placed, and we see some possible upside here, and this is a very tight stop loss that I use always, as you know that, and therefore as soon as the market will manage to break above, we might either close fully or partially. We see based on the move, either we might be able to run fully, or we could see that we'll be running much bigger move. But at the same time, here is the daily high at 4218.95, and it is less expected the price to cross this high to create a new higher high. So I place the buy stop at XAUUSD 4213.77, stop loss at 4210.50, TP target at 4218.82. And I will be also explaining in depth on the reason behind the trade. Thank you. So it's a buy stop order and looking for any entry here. Okay, so you see there is an initial bounce, and we might get a trigger with this trade as the progression of this session. Okay, so we might see a breakout, and I place my pending order, I've shared the trade on both premium as well as the free community. We'll see that what the market is doing. Thank you. Welcome and thanks for your call, guys. This is very good to hear that you guys are enjoying this session that I'm coming on live every single day during this time to trade the market and also to analyze the chart to see overall direction in the market. We have 10 minutes for this 1 hour candle close. So New York potentially coming in 10 minutes. So currently only open market is London and Frankfurt. So that's might be coming to change. Here is sideways at the moment. So might be volume coming. Do you think volume coming? Which way you predict gold to spike up or down? You can share your thought here. So I've shared as a pool. You guys can share in the chat option. Okay, so we might. Okay, I'm active. I am on with the trade. The trade is running. Right, this is my trade. Expecting to cross the London high. We're up 14 pip. So once it creates a new higher high above, this scalping trade, you want to say that the market has created new momentum. Going to see a cross of London high. So that disadvantage of having too tight stop loss. And five minutes price action here. This is a pretty long candlestick pattern on the 5 minutes. Looking to see that, okay, getting some upside. So as we see new higher high, five minutes candle close here, and it breaks down back below. There might be sessions low retest, and so we have 2 minutes before the 1 hour close here, and that 1 hour candle close, this is the 58, and there will be one more 1 minute candle. If the next 1 minute candle having a breakout, okay, so if the next one having a breakout here, as soon as the market managed to cross this high, with the next 1 minute candle, because it's scalping trade, guys, once the market, if it managed to break above, will be exiting the trade with the running profit. But I would like to see that it being managed to bounce off this level. As we can see, there is a long wick doji here, and okay, so there is an initial bounce. The price at entry, so with the 1 hour close, and okay, so I am going to, as soon as it's gonna move up further, right, so I'm going to exit the trade. I'm out with the trade, guys. It has got a rejection, very tight entry. The response was a little late, but there's a breakdown, but I got out. There's a breakdown. I've been able to close this with not much. Nearly to 10 people. There is a rejection from this higher price, so we couldn't take that more big, but we'll be re-entering again as soon as we find that entry. It's only 10 pip on my account that I can see. Why? Yeah, I think I've been able to see. Let me bring that up. There's just a smaller fluctuation here. So there is a after cross of this high just got rejected. Now it might continue to drop. We will be re-entering as soon as we find that entry. So there's this mine, if you look at that, didn't like it just have got bounce off that level. Now if the market managed to break below, we will be looking at that entry again for a bearish move. All right, so let's see that here, because there is a, this is 5 minutes, and with the volume came with the New York session that has pushed the market back below again. So managing trade is key, guys. So this is where we want to see that the market, if this is a breakdown, we could see again bouncing off the level, or it's containing its downtrend, and it is entirely possible this market to drop down from this level to the downside, even breaking that daily support if there is a stronger volume in the market. Let's see that what happened with the DXY, and DXY was DXY in a sideway, because that can help us to understand the gold move. AUD/USD pushing down, pushing to the upside, that has given significant momentum on gold. If you look at here, so now if this breakdown is a fake drop, we could see still continuation to the direction of the trend and can continue to rise. If there's a valid breakdown, then that might bring that market back below to the daily low here. Both scenario can be possible. Therefore, you want to see that, in fact, what exactly can bring in the market. So here is the, you see this is the swing high here, and that's what we are looking at, this market to continue to drop down here back below to this support level. Okay, do you think it's gonna break below or it's gonna bounce off the level? What's your bias now with NY opening up? I see it's still rejecting. Don't you think the market's gonna drop? What is your bias? Let me ask the question. I think the way the market has rejected, because you see this is a red bear candle, right? So because it's a red bear candle, so if you look at the 5 minutes, okay, I think it's still showing. If you look at this, is the 1 minute, you can see very strong breakdown with a double top. The possibility here to be bearish, and I'm biased with bearish, but let's see how the market structure creates. The bias looks like that downside. This is what very paradoxical. As a trader, we need to be biased in one direction, isn't it? You can't think of both direction at the same time. Though we have to have both possibilities may happen, but in terms of probability, so I see Valley down, Alpha Prime Co 4 hour going to flip, and this Kacheri bounce off. Okay, so it's good to have especially to have an understanding or opinion the market which way will go. But what I suggest, guys and girls, very important, is that never be very rigid in your decision. Okay, this is where I saw that anyone becoming very rigid in terms of their directional bias, very difficult to be profitable over the long term, because it's the way the market does. It's if you can understand that trader means that your main focus is to grow your trading account by trading, right? So if that's the case, then the first step is to manage the risk. Second step is to take the trade in your favor. If it doesn't go in your favor, then exiting as fast as you can. Before you start trading on a day, do you see with an idea of today's I'm only gonna sell buy? Not at all. How can you be? Before you see, you won't be able to do that, right? Because traders cannot be passionate about only buying or selling. Trader can be passionate about whichever the market is going, trading in that direction. That's a good point. A trader cannot decide before they sit on the trading desk. They need to look at the chart. They need to see that the market is going, showing, and also going at the same time a pattern that you can trade, and then based on that, okay, we can trade the market. I remember these days it's now dropped, okay, but I think you guys and girls also will face the same thing. I remember that I opened a buy, okay, and then the market dropped little, went to the profit target, dropped little bit to the minus, and then before it hit the stop loss, maybe halfway, I have closed the trade or added position. Now, whenever I was watching that trade, okay, I was always expecting this buy trade to drop. You'll see this happens over and over again. Can anybody tell me why this happens in trading psychology? It's a big part of trading psychology, guys. You'll see that change the way you look at the market. So though I have closed the trade, okay, let's say that I bought with 50 pip stop loss and at 25 pip minus, I have closed the trade. Now, whenever I was looking at the chart, I was always wishing the market to drop. Because I have closed the trade, I have nothing to do with this market to drop or going up. But still, I was wishing that this market to drop rather than going up. Okay, here we think there is a doji, right, in this area. See that if there is any other trading opportunity here. This is 15 minutes candlestick pattern. There's a pretty big drop here, and I think this is a potentially, there's another doji. This market can show rejection. Okay, so for the next entry. Now this is a very interesting price section here. Now it is creating an inverted head and shoulder, and that inverted head and shoulder may move that market back above here, or it is still can continue to drop. So session size here. I think going to that level is important to see. Okay, so coming to that point, I think it's very common trading psychology to look at that even the trade was closed, I was wishing that the market to drop, is because we fear of being wrong. That's a very common for everyone. Even the trade I have closed, but I was still expecting or wishing that the market to drop so that I can think of that I did a right decision by closing this trade. Though there's nothing to do with this trade because it's closed. The market going up, coming down will not make any difference in the trade that I have taken. Even instead the market goes up, it should be good that I have taken a good trade, that I learned the strategy, it was right. But still, I was wishing the market to drop so that I can. And by the way, we are looking at another entry. And in the meantime, traders, if you are enjoying the live session, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press that notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Okay, here the market is creating quite a few long wick candlestick, and I think it's depending on how the structure create here, it might be preparing for a downside here. Still not confirmed, but I think it's creating a long wick here and leaving an imbalance that might bring that market back below here. The euro dollar has broken back above here as we discussed, and okay, gold is now, after this consolidation, started to drop down, and most likely we'll see that break below. Now this is in a downtrend now at the moment, and this market even can break below to cross this daily low here, because there is a rejection, and there is the price even can break the support to cross the previous daily low. So it's a downtrend now. I think the probability is it might sell 4202.15, then bounce till the strong buy. Yeah, so basically now the market turned to a a bearish market. So there is a higher possibility to drop, and because there is a rejection strongly with the NOI open, there might be even crossing the previous daily low. See a lot of trend and liquidity on 4 hour. Okay, so if you look at this is 4 hour support, and the market has come back to that, so it might here range a little bit because the 4 hour support again here, so that's why multiple time frame help. But I think that this market less likely to be bullish here at the moment. Instead it can break 4192 level, but I'm not placing a sell at the moment because it's coming to the 4 hour support. You can see from here it can still have another bounce lower time frame, but what you will be looking at here is to enter a sell after break of structure here. So you can see this is a now sell market. From here is creating series of lower high. Now what our eye will be here, a one single move, right? Might be here, that means a bigger impulsive move, or it might be, you know, continue to drop and then at some point going back here from the 4 hour support and then selling from those levels. Okay, not buying because it created multiple false breaks. If you look at this is a false breakout, drop down, big drop, sideways market, so it's maintaining here downtrend, and because it's maintaining here downtrend, we are looking at here the market to break any of this high here. See a lot of liquidity, trend line liquidity in the 4 hour. Might get an impressive move on euro dollar as well. Don't you think euro dollar, as we mentioned earlier, break of structure and now coming down back below? This is what euro dollar exactly creating this structure. Put 202 level. This week is NFP week, if you guys FOMC, which is very confusing, sometimes get mixed up. So if you look at here is FOMC coming on Thursday, right? And then Friday unemployment claims. So here it's very near to the previous session's low, and chances for a break. The current level of lower time frame resistance, we can look at it here. Have anyone taken euro dollar position? I didn't open because we were busy with the gold and didn't look at euro dollar. But euro dollar had a bounce back to the upside here, and we see that after break of this high, it has got the rejection back below. So there is a 30 minutes bearish engulfer here. Entire break below here on euro dollar. Well, gold is slowly creating its momentum here. I'd like to delete those lines here to see. Now 15 minutes price action on gold is still bearish. There are two strong red candles that you can see, and depending on now how this candle is closing will determine if this market is coming down here. And if this 15 minutes candlestick pattern not getting a stronger bullish, there is a fair value gap. You can see this is an order block 4197, and it may come down here back below. There's a lower time frame doji here. That's a bearish market structure that we can see here in that mount. Good evening. Now the market is on this support here, and with this support that you can see on this lower time frame, there is a significant this is a 30 minutes price action that you can see. It's a massive drop, and that price action could be a sign of further downside here, and that might bring that market come back to this previous swing low here. There is a triple top that you can support here, and daily price action on gold is rejecting from that level. It's not being able to strongly bounce off that level. That means because it's not being able to break this resistance line, if you look at this is a daily resistance where resistance here, which could bring that market back below here, right? So that may be the price to come back below here, crossing 4192, even further down. That might bring that market back below to this low, that means 4192 or lower than that. So the price action here is bearish, so therefore any breakup structure I'm looking at now bearish entry, that means downtrending entry here I'm looking at. And there's a fair value gap. If you look at it's a void here. If the market not being able to break this high, the chances that we may see that market to come back here to create a new lower low. Don't you think so? And there is another, if you look at the 30 minutes, this pin bar that I can see on the 30 minutes, you might not see on 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Now this pin bar that sometime act as a order block. So if this pin bar is an order block, that means from here the smart money has sold. This green move is a false breakout. So looking at this box, that's a potentially a false breakout, and this move has significant liquidity for this market to drive back below. Now to understand liquidity also, we'll be later clarifying how we can understand the liquidity, but basically liquidity means that if you see the market created a false breakout in one direction, you can expect the market move the other direction. It's the rule of thumb. So let's say if you see like this semicircle, the market has created like that, and then the price creating false breakout above this level like this, that's the sign of the market to drop down here. So from that analogy, if you look at this is a downtrend and false breakout in this direction, because also in the past there was multiple times same kind of price action has created. So this red candle has a volume in it. This one is the London breakdown, NY breakdown. Okay, so if you look at the London breakout, NY breakout, London breakdown, NY breakdown, very important candlestick pattern, because this price has a volume. Even if you don't look at the volume indicator, that's a it has a volume in it. So because it has a volume, it's gonna drive that price back below. Now we can expect at least to, this is 124 pip candle, and if we look at the same amount to move back below or even further low, 4190, that is coming below the daily low, right? So now going back to the lower time frame price action here for potential entry, we are directionally very much up as per the analysis. Come on, what happened? Okay. Hello everyone. Yes, this is what we are discussing, that's a selling market now at the moment. It's awesome. Okay, so from here it's now on the upside move. 15 minutes price action closed as a doji, and The price on the daily support, and I don't see very strong reason for bouncing off this level, though it is trying to reject from that level. But here is the long wick. So the current ATR on 1 minute, $18 pip. Ready for another entry. I think we could see nearing to the daily support and potentially to break that low here. What the DXY is doing here. The DXY is pushing little upside, that is pushing gold back downside here. So we have also created a comparison earlier on this analysis here for DXY and gold. If you haven't looked at, it's helpful. And getting the rejection here. So the market here, 5 minutes chart, just broken that previous low here. Now this is in a very crucial level, especially from the 1 hour that you can see big red candle. Now this is later, the next price action can still be bearish, or you could see for another pullback upside. Going back to the 1 hour and 1 minute. So we can say sell, but it's very important to look at what level to sell, right? It's very important to see that. Okay, so what we are looking at here after the euro dollar move, euro dollar has broken out and then returned down in the direction of the trend. So it's putting pressure on daily support level here that you can see, and most likely you'll see break of daily support. In one scenario could happen that the price from this support got another bounce back up to 4218 and drop again. That can happen. For me, it is less likely without breaking the previous daily low, the market to go up. But it can happen that the price can return from in between the two daily low. So the previous daily low and the daily low before previous one. So there is this is a very high confluence area, because in this 167 pip zone there's a 10 EMA high and low, and that can be a very important area. The market may react to that, but at the moment you can see there's a 15 minutes bearish engulfer which is crossed the previous one's doji, created a stronger bearish price action here in that area. Okay, so creating long wick doji here. So it's we see there is a break above again from that level, and it's in a level where it's sometimes hard to determine if this market is going to cross this high or coming back below. From the 4-hour, you can see from the support level there is a initial bounce here back above, and this breakout here that you can see can be like pretty big move back to the upside, or you can see the market again coming down. It can even go back to the daily high. Depending on how the market is reacting to that level. As it start to move from the daily support. Looking for a cutoff point for this market to drop again. So it bounced off well above, And now this market can go to cross 4215, can come back below here. So the market from here, we can see that the price tested this current session's high. This is the session's high, and from this session's high, we may see the market now to drop down, or can still continue to rise back again to cross this 4215 level. Now with a long doji that we can see in this market, pretty big doji, back to back two. It's still maintaining here an uptrend and in this 1 minute time frame. So that means this market still could go back to 4215 or even crossing that high and can drop down again. So the session's high is at 4215 level. Breaking 4215 or reaching 4215 can be great selling opportunity, though 1 hour's resistance is here. There's a bearish engulfer. And so it's going to this bearish fair value gap, and there is an imbalance area here. So that's gonna be nearly to 40 pip imbalance in this zone here. As it is approaching that imbalance, higher chance of going back up to this high here. Here local time frame, lower time frame has shown bullish rejection back again, so that might take that market back above. Okay, so if this move fails on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, they're looking to see the market to trend down back again. buys are in. So now showing a stronger confluence. Here the market can act in both direction. We'll be using here buy stop order for move potentially back to the upside. It looks like that there is a stronger pin bar. It may still can come back down. So if the market cross this high, we will be using with tight stop loss for this possible move back to the upside to this daily high. It's a buy stop order at 4211, at 4211.21. So I'm getting the trade with the market order. It looks like we could see some upside here, potentially back, and there's a fair value gap. So this move that we want to say, this is a very short move that I'm expecting, not a big one, because the market has reached that key resistance line. It potentially could retest this 4-hour high and can still come back below again for another support test. So it's a short-term move that I'm expecting to take for this potential bounce off this level. And can be a fake out. Later it's a fake out. That there is another long week. It's potentially a fake out. So it was a fake out and the market just has rejected from that level, and it's a very short move. So we'll see that if the market is again retaining that back below. As the price reached that 4-hour level, we may even see another test. The price has reached that key level of resistance here. So might be just a short term. So you just cross that low and then the buyers are still active. And or it can go extended sideways move here in this area. Can go extended sideways, and that can continue to move until the coming up another high volume session. So there is coming up, this move may take over again during the New York session close. So if we look at the have a clock here that can see. So New York 9:30, London 2:30 p.m. The market may now start to move in a sideways, and if you look at this 4-hour, we have 30 minutes this 4-hour candle to close. And with this 4-hour close, if the price breaks that low here, that can bring that market back below. If the market not being able to break that high, we could see the daily high retest. Now that we will be able to know from the here, it might now move in a narrow one candle range, and then either to test that and go back up, or create a false breakout and come back down. Until we see one clear directional bias being created, we are looking at here in this market structure. For further confirmation, you can see whenever it's coming down, there's a long wick being created. So this is the first day. We still have quite a few days to go if you look at the coming up FOMC. And tomorrow in our relation session, there is AUD and then JPY, followed by during the day and also in, so big day tomorrow for AUD as well as also for gold. The market here created a structure that can again break above. I will be re-entering once we see the price action has created proper confirmation. I think it may not be able to strongly break above because of the 4-hour high. It may go up here for a short period and then eventually can come back below to this daily support. Once 10 confirm, we will be entering. I'm almost nearing to the end of this session, traders. If you haven't joined the link below this video for the community, you can stay there connected for all the education and update that I'm posting every day. And in the meantime, also make sure you subscribe to the channel, also press the notification bell. There will be another live coming tomorrow at the same time to trade those also news coming up. During those news, there is a higher volatility and lower time frame price action showing that gold may eventually could continue drop here. That's, you can see there is a breakdown. So I'll keep you posted in the group as well. Thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again, guys. Hope that you had enjoyed this session. Once daily support breaks, we might be able to open position here for another rejection from that level. That's the current zone that I will be looking at, and I will be posting any update also in the community, Telegram community, where you can also keep track of all the analysis as well as trade setup that I will be opening. Thank you, and I'll see you again, guys. Until that, stay well, stay happy.